As we get older, it's natural to observe changes in our bodies. We might notice that our joints are stiffer in the morning, our pace has slowed, or our hands aren't quite as steady as they once were. In most cases, these are simply part of the normal aging process. However, it's important to understand that certain subtle, persistent symptoms can be early warning signs of a more specific underlying condition like Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's is a progressive neurological condition that affects the brain's ability to control movement. Because it develops very slowly, its initial signs are often so subtle that they are easily mistaken for something else and can be missed for years. This is why awareness is so important. Recognizing the earliest signs doesn't mean you should jump to conclusions, but it does mean you are better equipped to monitor your health. The purpose of this guide is to provide clear, detailed information about these early physical signs. This knowledge is a tool to help you distinguish between normal aging and a pattern of symptoms that warrants a conversation with your doctor, allowing for earlier intervention and better management. Sign 1. Subtle hand tremors at rest. A key early sign is a slight tremor, but its characteristics are very specific. It usually begins asymmetrically, meaning on only one side of the body, and often starts in a single finger or the thumb. This is called a resting tremor because it occurs when the muscles are completely relaxed. You might see it when your hand is resting in your lap, while watching TV, or at your side when walking. A classic description is a pill-rolling motion, as if you were rolling a small object between your thumb and index finger. Crucially, the tremor typically disappears the moment you intentionally use your hand to perform a task, like picking up a cup. Howard, a 72-year-old, first noticed this when his spoon shook slightly at dinner. Over time, this subtle tremor progressed to a point where the fine motor control needed for tasks like buttoning a shirt became a daily struggle. Sign 2. Slower walking speed and shuffling. A significant and often overlooked early sign is a change in the way you walk. This isn't just about getting tired. It's a fundamental shift in movement patterns. A person may start taking smaller, shorter steps, almost as if they are shuffling their feet. The pace becomes noticeably slower, and there could be a feeling of hesitation or freezing where the feet feel momentarily stuck to the floor, especially when starting to walk or turning a corner. Doctors call this bradykinesia, a slowness of movement that stems from the brain's difficulty in initiating and executing automatic actions. Samuel, an avid 76-year-old walker, noticed his 2-mile walk was taking significantly longer. It wasn't just fatigue. He observed his steps had become smaller and his posture had begun to stoop forward, making him feel less confident and stable. Sign 3. Loss of arm swing while walking. A healthy walk involves a natural, subconscious rhythm where the arms swing in opposition to the legs for balance. One of the most specific early signs of Parkinson's is the reduction or complete loss of this arm swing, typically on just one side of the body. The affected arm may remain stiffly at the side or move only slightly, while the other arm swings normally. The person walking is almost always unaware of this change. It's often a spouse or friend who first points it out, asking if they have an injured shoulder. Margaret, 72, was told by her daughter that her right arm looked stiff and wasn't moving when she walked. The key differentiator from a condition like arthritis is that this stiffness isn't usually painful. The arm simply feels uncooperative because it is not receiving the brain's automatic signal to swing. Sign 4. A softer, monotone voice. Parkinson's can significantly impact the muscles that control speech. This often results in the voice becoming much softer, a condition called hypophonia, making it difficult for others to hear, especially in noisy environments. In addition to the loss of volume, the voice can lose its natural range of pitch and inflection, causing speech to sound flat, breathy, or monotone. A person may feel they are speaking normally, yet find that family and friends constantly ask them to repeat themselves. Thomas, 74, a man once known for his engaging storytelling, found that his family began to complain that he was mumbling, The effort of having to constantly speak louder led to him participating less in conversations, creating a sense of social withdrawal. Sign 5. Shrinking handwriting, micrographia. A person's handwriting can offer a very clear visual clue. The specific change to look for is called micrographia, where the handwriting becomes progressively smaller and more cramped. A person might start writing a note with their usual sized letters, but as they move across the page, the letters shrink, the words become crowded together, and the entire line may start to slant upward. The physical act of writing feels more laborious, requiring more pressure and concentration for a less legible result. Beverly, 76, was alerted to this when her daughter commented that her once beautiful script now looked tiny and hard to read. This is not just a sign of hand stiffness. It is a direct reflection of the brain's difficulty with fine motor control and the ability to sustain a continuous motor task. Sign 6. Trouble with facial expression, facial masking. A very noticeable sign to others, though often not to the individual themselves, is a reduction in spontaneous facial expressions. This is known as facial masking. The face can take on a serious, blank, or sad-looking expression, even when the person is feeling happy or engaged. Natural smiles may appear weak or forced, and the rate of blinking often decreases, which can result in a fixed, stare-like appearance. This creates a disconnect between what a person is feeling on the inside and what their face is showing on the outside, which can be very isolating. Harold, 82, didn't realize his expression had changed until his granddaughter asked him why he looked so serious all the time. The objective proof came from a video of his birthday party, where he was stunned to see his own lack of animation. It is important to emphasize that these signs can be caused by a number of conditions, and their presence is not a definitive diagnosis of Parkinson's disease. However, a persistent pattern involving one or more of these specific symptoms is a valid reason to consult a healthcare professional. The purpose of this detailed information is to empower you. Instead of feeling a vague sense of worry, you now have a concrete checklist of things to observe. A helpful next step could be to keep a simple log of any symptoms you notice, what they are when they occur, and whether they're getting more consistent. This provides your doctor with valuable information. Approaching your doctor with these specific observations transforms the conversation. You're no longer just saying, "I feel off." You are presenting a clear set of data points. This allows for a more productive partnership in managing your health. Early detection of any condition, including Parkinson's, is critical because it opens the door to a wider range of management strategies, from medications to physical and occupational therapies that can significantly improve quality of life. Taking proactive steps based on clear information is the most powerful thing you can do for your long-term well-being.